He stood outside Vine's father's office, taking a deep breath to calm himself. Fear gripped him as he prepared to face Vine's dad, who already didn't like him now after his blunder. He dreaded the encounter, yet driven by his concern for Vine, he felt compelled to learn about her situation. Her dad was his only hope to reach her. He lightly knocked on the office door and entered after receiving permission. Mr. Lee, welcome Mr. Jungkook. It's been a long time since you come. Come sit down, he said in a casual tone and gestured for him to take the chair in front of him. Seeing his ordinary demeanor, Jungkook felt a bit revealed. Hi sir, how are you doing? He took a seat and offered his hand, which Vanda shook firmly, exchanging pleasantries. Fine, last night I couldn't attend your party due to some urgent surgeries, but I am delighted to see you today. Actually, I came to see Vine. I've been calling her for a while, but her phone isn't connecting. I want to meet her. Can you tell me where she is right now? He was still hesitating to discuss Vine with them, fearing they might know about last night. Sorry, I cannot tell you where she is. I promised my daughter and I keep my promise well. She is far from you now, right? But strong and will recover soon. I don't know what happened between you two, but my daughter will love you passionately until yesterday. I felt deserted. My daughter ran her life for you when she shouldn't be enjoying her teenage year and fulfilling her dream. She sacrificed so much for you. Her aspirations, desires, and even herself. She did a lot favor for you, and you are not even aware of most of it. So you wouldn't feel in debate to her. I only regret that despite everything, you couldn't make my daughter happy. She deserves happiness from you. You were virtue today because of her. As a father, I requested you to leave my daughter alone now. Let her live her life, find happiness, and prioritize herself after sacrificing so much for others. I can't bear seeing her like this. I want to see her happy and successful, not regretful about her future. There is a father. Please, I hope you won't disappoint me further. You can find many beautiful and wealthy girls beside Payan. He was requesting him as a father without anger or argument while Jungkook listened intently to his words. She had left him forever without saying a single word to him, and he understood that she was right. Her father's words made him realize that Vine had indeed wasted years of her life. The love Vine gave him was unmatched, yet he couldn't reciprocate with happiness, honest, or everything. He felt her pain of losing everything love, loyalty, trust after 8 long years. Listen, calling her is pointless. She left her phone behind switched off so you can never reach her again. He placed Van in front of him and Jungkook smiled bitterly. Mr. Lee saw the same pain on Jungkook's face that he had seen on Vian's, and it struck a chord. Jungkook, I am consumed by regret and humbly Her seek forgiveness remarkable for being memory a and perpetual intellect sources of only add to distress her in your daughter's exceptional life. character. Despite her My heart innate still strength, she wishes for possesses her a to gentle find soul happiness and and an fulfillment unwearying free from the shadow of our capacity to past. I endure pain acknowledge my without inflicting unworthiness it of her upon love and devotion. A realization that eluded me until now. 8 precious years of her life were lost to my misconceptions, and for that I apologize for that and hope so she forgives me. He spoke in a broken tone, then touched wine phones and walked out. The wounds were still fresh, the pain intense. He wanted to spend some time alone. One father forced him leave despite seeing his daughter's condition last night. He didn't think ill for Jungkook today. He saw the same pain in Jungkook's eyes that had seen in Vine's eyes. He came straight home from her dad's office. He didn't want anyone around him for now, nor was he in a state to face anyone. Throughout the drive, he contentedly wiped away tears and cleared his face, struggling to hold himself together while driving. He sat on the floor beside his bed, overwhelmed by grief. One mistake had cost him everything today. Life had left him alone once again. The person he cherished had left him forever, refusing even a glance. He buried his face in his knees and wept uncontrollably. Thought a strong man, the loss of his years-long love due to a single mistake overwhelmed him. He had cried similarly after losing his parents at a young age, feeling abandoned forever. Yet he knew he'd survive without them. But today he felt like he'd perish without her. He sobbed uncontrollably, choked by hiccups as tears refused to subside. How could you leave me so soon? I never thought you'd go. Couldn't you give me a chance to explain myself? I betrayed your ate trust. I admit my mistake, but it was unintentionally, not premeditated. I didn't exploit you, believe me. He wept like a child, as if tears wouldn't bring back what he had lost and soothe his heart. He picked up wine pitcher from the beside table and gently touched it, his lips curling into a smile despite his sobs. Tears fell onto one image as he pressed his lips to it, dampening the picture with his sorrow. Though he never openly expressed his love, only he knew its depth. He wiped away his tears and gently cleaned wine pitcher with his shirt, placing it back on the table beside weeping. There was much more to attend. Jungkook, those who wronged us, causing distance between us, will cry every day from now on. I'll torment them for the rest of my life for what they did. Their actions separated us, leaving us to suffer. How can I leave them in peace? You left me, but I won't let you go easily. I will search for you until my last breath. The day my breath stops, my search for you will end. Your presence makes me breathe. Without the thought of being with you, how can I survive? He kissed Ryan Pitcher one last time before heading to the washroom, needing to refresh himself before tracking the number task ahead. He was a man where tears couldn't lighten his grief. He was a man, and crying alone wouldn't ease his anguish. His sorrow was on the verge of igniting into fury, targeting those who had caused his suffering. time will. He lay on his bed, executed as usual. After taking a shower every day, he worked tirelessly, and as soon as he was free, he would search for Vine, only to return home defeated. Lying in bed, he thought about Vine. Since she left, he couldn't forget her for a single moment. Whenever her memory tormented him, he would visit their favorite spot, spending hours there. Vine absence now coursed through his veins like poison. He still lay executed and in self discomfort, having not eaten since yesterday. But no one cared. The one who cared for him had left him and gone far away. He couldn't move but managed to turn slightly, and pent up tears began flowing, warming his cheeks and wetting his pillow silently without complaint. He endured the pain, recalling beautiful moments spent with Vian to try and where are you, Vian? Please come back. I am executed. I don't want a day to come when my search for you ends and you are still not with me. Living without you is difficult. You may not return to my life. I know I am not worthy of you, but at least stay in my sights. Where are you? How are you? At least let me know you are doing well. Please meet me once. My restless heart will find solace seeing you just once. He mumbled to himself as he drifted off to sleep, tears streaming down his face, still missing her, and crying like every night. In the day, he appeared strong in front of others, but the absence of that girl reduced him to tears like a child at night. She sat in the meeting room reviewing files, having scheduled a meeting an hour later, and was busy preparing while her business partner worked alongside her. In 3 months, she had achieved a lot and was set to launch her own enterprise in Denmark next month. But she had changed, always rushing into meetings, working day and night. Her work was now her only distraction from Jungkook. She was working on her laptop when her secretary brought a cup of coffee. Van, this is your fifth cup of coffee in an hour. You drink too much. Don't consume so much caffeine. It's not good for your health. Van, so what's your problem with me drinking coffee? I am drinking it. My health is suffering, but it's not affecting your health. Nor I'm using your father's money to buy coffee. So why worry? If you focus on work instead of my coffee, it will benefit you. She angrily immersed herself in work and started drinking coffee while he simply nodded and remained silent. Since meeting her, he had known her to be a strong willed girl, and now he was getting used to her behavior. Both their hearts were in pain, both had loved intensely and were enduring the suffering. The only difference was that one was tormenting himself to forget due to misunderstanding, while the other was bearing the pain. She sat alone in a park far from the sea at night, watching the waves rise in the sea, and the moonlight on the water made it even more captivating. Whenever she felt restless or suffocated, she often came here as the roar of the sea's waves drowned out her inner turmoil, bringing her peace if only for a while. A year had passed, but his memory still haunted her. The more she tried to forget, the more they gripped her heart and mind, leaving her breathless. She glanced sideways at the spot beside her, which was empty, just like every other day. The person who usually sat at a distance from her was absent again. She smiled bitterly. And there was something he wanted to return to her. He was gazing out the window at the people outside, his face expressionless as if he had forgotten how to smile. Then he saw a girl standing by her car wearing black pants and a high neck sweater topped with a brown coat. His gaze locked onto her and his eyes began to well up with tears, blurring his vision. He hastily wiped away his tear, eager to see her, and now that he had grown weary searching for her, and yet here she was, standing before him. His eyes refused to believe that he was actually seeing her. He had come to Denmark for just one meeting. He had not accepted his search to end here. He quickly got out of his car to approach her, but before he could, she got into car and left, unaware that someone was coming towards her with a deep longing to meet her. His peer found him sitting on the bench and approached him. "What's wrong, sir? Are you okay?" he asked with concern, looking at his tear-stained eyes. "I am fine. Find out about this car, who owns it, and where they live." He handed him a piece of paper with the car license plate number, while his peer looked at him with surprise. "Sir, we have a flight to catch in 2 hours. It is impossible to complete this task within such a tight deadline. We are not going anywhere. Cancel the flight. I plan to stay here for the next 1 to 2 months." He couldn't put into words and the immense happiness he felt after catching just glimpse of her today. "Okay, sir." They were both sitting in the car, his PA in initially planning to drop him off at the hotel and then attend to the task he had been assigned.